you all know that we were doing the Azure YouTube series. So here, the continuation of the last video, which is going to be the Azure Load Balancer today, the new topic. So what is meant by Azure Load Balancer, guys? Whenever you guys are having some application, you need some availability and you need some the load management system. So the load management system, why we are having in the sense, when the more traffic flow on the specific hardware, it might be having a chance to crash, or it might be a chance to get a more downtime. So in order to avoid those activity, we were using the load balancer concept over there. So load balancing refers to evenly distributing a load, means incoming traffic actually. So distributing the load in the sense like incoming traffic to the network. So across a group of backend resources or the servers. Something server can be in the backend or group of resources in the backend. So servers in the sense 1 or 2 servers or 3 or 4 servers will be there. So group of resources in the sense something the backend will be set up like storage, server and database, everything kind of. Okay. And here, the Azure Load Balancer operates at a layer 4 open system interconnection model. Something based on OSI layer model, the fourth layer it is working. Based on that only the Azure Load Balancer going to be work. So the backend pool of the instance can be Azure virtual machines or instances in a virtual machine scale set. So there is a virtual machine scale set we have it and virtual machines we are having. So most probably the virtual machine scale set can be take in the upcoming sessions. Okay. So now we need to be aware of the virtual machines. That also we know what is virtual machine and why we are using that. So based on the virtual machines only, we are going to be working out with our load balancer. Most of time, the backend pool will contain the Azure virtual machines only. And now we come to know what is the Azure VM over there. So there is something, right? The concept of the load balancer. The concept of load balancer going to be. So I'm able to see that there is a machine public load balancer and private load balancer I'm having. So private load balancer is something called an internal load balancer. So the public load balancer of this can be set to the virtual machine and virtual machine in the backend, which is web tier subnet. For each and every subnet, I'll be going to a different load balancer over there. So here internet, and we were configuring on load balancer here. The load balancer having the 3 virtual machines over there. Load balancer consistently having the 3 virtual machine over there. Okay, so from the 3 virtual machine, the load going to be branches from here. User hitting, the first request going to virtual machine 1, second request going to be virtual machine 2, third request going to be virtual machine 3. So the same way, from here internally we are going to be having some load balancer. So from there, Azure SQL database I'm having on the load balancer. So first request going to be here, second request going to be here, and third request going to be here. In that scenario, based on your request, okay, based on the client how they are requesting, so based on that your load balancer going to be split the load to the peoples. So and then here we are having the some concept, something backend pool, health prop, and then your overall load balancing rule. So backend pool, which is contain the subnet and the virtual machine, and health prop contains that. So whether your what are the machines under the load balancer, whether it's working or not, can be able to transfer the data or not, can be able to flow the network or not. So these activity can be able to check under my health prop. So once the health prop and backend pool and the internal load balancer or internal IP got created, right? What's going to be happen? All the things can be connected together as a load balancing rule here. Let me see. Here, most probably we were using the concept of only sharing the loads between the servers. So let's see the conference. Let's see the configuration here. So here there's a 2 virtual machine that we need to have in the same VNet. In the same VNet that we are going to be have a 2 virtual machine for a purpose. Okay. So already last session we were in the discussion of our HT3 machine we created. So here what we are going to be do? Let me providing the one NIC card we are providing. Means I'm just assigning the public IP for that. In the networking, right? I'm going to be assign the one public IP. So I'm just going to be assign the public IP over here. So IP configuration. So here the network interface I'm going to be connect. So in that network interface, what we are going to be do something IP configuration. So my IP public IP I'm going to be connect. So IP configuration. In the IP configuration, I'm going to be add one public IP. I'm just going to be adding a public IP over there. So here static IP I'm assigning public IP associated. So choose the public IP, create a new IP. So here HT3 machine I'm going to be standard. Okay, standard I'm just going to be allocated. and then you're coming to the concept of safe. So public IP got associated over there. There is a two virtual machines I'm having, HT1 and HT3. So HT1 and HT3 belongs to the same network only, and HT2 belongs to a different network only. Okay. Now what we are going to be do the same, the two virtual machines I'm having right now with me. So parallelly, what we are going to be do, we'll be seeing the concept of our load balancer. There's a service name called load balancer we are having. So load balancers. So here we are having no load balancer. Let me creating a load balancer here. So load balancer name. So HT YouTube here load balancer, and same central yes. I'm just going to be going with the internal or public. So which load balancer that we need. So local internal load balancer that we need or public load balancer that we need. So as of now, I'll be going with the public load balancer. So and then I'm just going with the standard SKU, and tier going to be regional and global. So regional in the sense, in the regional size we get your availability. When you're going for global, your load balancer or server availability will be in the global level. And here we are going to be creating a public IP for your load balancer. So this is the public IP for your machine. So HT YouTube LBIP. I'm just giving here, and then availability zone, all zone redundant we are giving, the zone redundant we are giving, and then tags we are going to be review and create. So only as of now we are going to be creating the load balancer only. As of now we are creating the load balancer only. Once the load balancer get created, what's going to be happen? We are going to be providing that the accessibility for your net backend protocol, sorry, backend pool, and then your further activities we are going to be see over there. Okay, so let it configure. So once the deployment done, we are going to be see the other things also. So here deployment is in the progress. Let's see. So backend pool and health prop and your IP address, everything going to be safe here. So once it get deployed, right, we'll be going with the activity. So resource got created. Let me go into the resources. So here you can able to see front-end IP configuration, backend pools, health prop, and load balancing rule. So front-end IP configuration, for your load balancer, you are going to be assigning IP. For your load balancer, you are going to be assigning IP. That is something called load balancer front-end IP. So here I'm having the IP address 52.158.169.115. I'll be going with the backend pool. So the backend pool is something, what are the machines available that I need to be connected here. So what are the machines that I need to be check. So what are the machines I need to be connected here. So those machines I can able to connect here. So backend pool name HT YouTube backend pool, and then virtual network belongs to the high-tech YouTube network, and then backend pool based on the NIC only. So add a, I'm going to be adding the virtual machines over there. So what are the virtual machines available? HT1 and HT3, the both I'll be have over there. So with the standard SKU, this only one machines were there. So let's see. Okay, fine. There is another machine that I'm just going to be take HT network. So add a, it seems shows that only HT3 will be the same configuration like this, like it is showing. So you can only attach virtual machines that are in the same location and the same virtual network as on the load balancer. Virtual machines must have the standard SKU public IP or no public IP. So let's see. So what about my first virtual machine? So let me see about the first virtual machine and belongs to which virtual network that we can see. So virtual machines, there's a first HT1 virtual machine I'm having with me right now. Let me going for HT1 virtual machine. So under the HT1 virtual machine, you can able to see whatever the IP address we had, whether it is in the basic or the standard, or it may be, so how it is, like we can see. Okay, so one VPC, one virtual CPU and 1 GB memory, and here we'll be having the basic only, I think so. Most probably it is in the basic. So and we are giving the IP address and what else we having and which network belongs it to. This is the mission. Okay, let me going for networking. In the networking, I'm able to see what kind of public IP we are having here. What kind of public IP we are having here? Let's see inside that. So IP configuration. So here IP configuration. Here we are having one IP here. Let me double click. So there is a associated, and we are going to be creating IP here, which is going to be creating the IP. So standard one we are creating. Okay, standard one only will be work over there. So HTV1. So HT-1 we are having, and then we are going to be creating the same. Just wait for a while. It is in the loading. The standard IP address we are giving. So the public IP is creating here. Let's see. So it is got associated, and I'm just going to be save the same. It is got associated and is going to be saving the same. So once public IP get added, right, I'm able to see over there, because sometimes if your IP address belongs to basic, in the sense, it won't be show over there. It won't be show over there. So I created the new IP range, and it seems shows that network associated with it does not allow the different type of SKU. Okay, fine. So what we can do, so HT1 IP only given, so not other. Okay, HT1 IP only given. So what we can do, we'll be coming to the load balancer concept. We can come to the load balancer. There I can able to see so how it is, whether it's working or not. What we can do, the front end pool and back end pool is connecting or not, that we can see. So here high tech YouTube is LB load balancer I'm having. So here in the load balancer, right, the back end pool that we are going to be connect. So add back end pool. So virtual network that we are going to be use the same, and then we can add it here. So we can see whether can be able to add it or not. So most probably this time I could see till there is something HTRG only. So another machine it is not showing. So however, we can able to see here. So HT added one. So one machine were added. So I'm just going to be connected with the another add. So machine going to be added here. So initializing and submitting the deployment. So multiple machines you had in the sense the multiple machines you can able to add it here. So the restriction and the concept going to be belongs to only the all connectivity, whatever the thing that you're giving, it should be in a same deployment and it should be in a standard IP address. Okay, and it should be in the standard IP address. Okay, and based on the restrictions, we can able to create the same. And here itself, we can able to see virtual machine scale set must be in the same location and load balancer. Only IP configuration that have the same SKU like it is giving. So backend pool I had here right now with me. So there is a backend pool I'm having. So once the backend pool get created, let me going with the health prop. So under the health prop, right, I'm able to see the activity. So what I need to be added the health prop. What is the thing that I need to be added in the health prop? So here health prop name I'm just giving HT health prop, and what is the protocol and what is the port that we need to be used, and the interval time. So every 10 seconds, right, it should be giving the high message, and the unhealthy threshold. If suppose your machines are consecutively failed 2 times or 5 times consecutively, in the sense it will be considered as a one concept. It will be considered as a one method. So if suppose it shows that it is unhealthy, in the sense what's going to be happen, your load balancer will not share the load to your machines, will not share the load to your machines. So let me add the same. So the consecutive 5 failures we were added up, and the HTHP is the name, and protocol going to be TCP, and which port that you need to be add for a health prop, and what is the interval timing, and the unhealthy threshold what. So if your continuously machine is unhealthy, in the sense what's going to be happen, so obviously that what we need to do, right, your machine will not be share the load to the concerned server. Instead of other two servers will be helpful to you. Okay, so let it in the deployment. So once the deployment done, the load balancing rule we are going to be see. So your deployment has been happened, and HTSP will be your health prop. Now load balancing rule we are going to be provide. So in the load balancing rule, I'm going to be add all the activities. So whatever the thing that we had with me, so all the activity going to be run over here. So load balancing rule name HTLB rule. So HT load balancer rule, and front end IP going to be configured front end one, and then port going to be what port we given, 80 port we can give, and then backend port going to be your backend port. Okay, so your backend port what we can give the same like a 80 port, and here also I'm just going to be user my health prop output backend pool, and here so I'll be having health prop the same, and then session persistence, client IP or IP protocol. So what is a session persistence in the sense, if suppose one machine continuously hitting the same server, in the sense that machine that server will be identified, okay, this is continuously hitting on mine, so we cannot upcoming whatever the request coming from that particular machine or particular request, right, it will be taken of the dedicated machine. The request will be received from the requester, it will be taken the dedicated machine. It may be in the client IP or it may be in the protocol wise also. Okay, I'm just going to be creating the add. So now the load balancing rule going to be added over that. So based on these all the steps, right, we can able to configure the load balancer over there. So once the load balancer gets successfully configured, it will be giving the public IP of the concept. It will be giving the public IP. So while running, if suppose you have a connected the web server, or if you have connected with any things, right, it will be automatically show up over there. Actually, it will be automatically show up there in the browser. In order to you the whatever the machine that you connected, right, whatever the machine that you connected, so that if you are added any web server or if you added any application, in the sense in that particular rule, in that particular load balancer, right, what's going to be happen, the virtual machine, it is going to be run over there. Okay, so as of now this is the public IP. If you configure any virtual machine IS server or anything, in the sense it will be pasted over here, it will be over run here. So like this way. This is a load balancer IP. As of now, I do not have any web server over there. That is the reason we cannot able to get that activity. So while configuring the web service, if you are doing the activity, so obviously there will be a server will be open. Your load going to be balanced in the backend. So based on how many backend pool, as of now, I'm having only one virtual machine in the backend. So if you have created a multiple backend pools over that, so what you can able to do in the sense activity. So in the multiple backend pools will be connected in the same load balancer. So your load going to be differentiately sharing between your loads. So exactly how in the sense this is how. So your load going to be sharing like this way. As of now, you consider in one subnet only one virtual machine only we created, remaining two it's not created. So if you remaining two created in the sense your load balancer going to be split the service to the all the things. Okay, so this is what the load balancer configuration, guys. So load balancer configuration of private and load balancer configuration of public, the both almost seems look correct, same only. Okay, so public IP if we given in the sense that is a public load balancer, private IP if we are giving in the sense that is a private load balancer. So hope you understand this concept, guys. So thank you for watching this video. We can see you in the next video. Thank you so much.